They think little handicap how he walk with a stick. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's insanely leveraged. Just tried some NVIDIA puts. I got my Chrome with me. I got my Chrome with me. It's moving against me a bit.
attempted entry and then it's, you know, a whole trade is done. So Google has played out. XBI still holding support here. And I'm going to be interested in a lab entry if this continues to hold. Still seeing a little bit of weakness. Markets are a little heavy on it still. But definitely looking interesting here for a potential hold and attempt again. We're definitely getting bulls buying the dip and increasing volume when it sees it. So let's see if we can continue to hold this, and then I would just want it to trend the rest of the day if it's going to go. Amazon still holding support here as well. So Amazon holding anything under 134.79 would be lower high. XLF up near the highs of the day with a big time recovery. So all things considered, QQQ is actually, like SPY is still down, even though we have several names all at the highs of the day. So dips are being bought, but there's still like some heaviness in the market, clearly. There we go. Amazon holding support. Nice support hold again. Again, anything under 134.79 is a lower high, but that means that we could get a nice equilibrium on Amazon to play a little bit later into the day. So if we were to get that equilibrium and then break it, that would make for a nicer play on Amazon potentially. Still sideways on XBI. Apple bulls still strong up at the highs of the day, looking at the highs of yesterday as resistance. So hourly time frame.
Yep, gonna get stopped out.
Be 198.23. We sort of don't really have much resistance in here just because of the size of the wick.
I'm done with this shit. Making money doing other things.
Continuation for Google. So a nice laggard play on Google. I was watching that one yesterday too, and it just continued to be weak, but today it's getting the move. So good laggard play on Google, and Amazon is still in play here, very much so holding support in a very nice way. Microsoft bulls continuing to see strength. Again, 5-minute time frames could use higher lows for these names.
I'll give it to 468.
Meta bulls up at the highs of the day. All in all, like tech is bouncing very strongly, but we still are red on a lot of names. And SPY is still kind of rejecting where we had moves yesterday. So if we look at where we were holding here at support yesterday on SPY, and we see that we're rejecting there now. So here, if we look at SPY, we had 1, 2, 3. We're looking at closes of candles really below this area, and now it's slightly lower. So it's, I'm going to just be exact on the closes here. So and now we're failing to close over that. So this is what bulls are looking to break and see follow through to the upside, and this is what bears are looking to hold as resistance if they want to look down for some further consolidation. And so far rejecting from it just now, but not in a meaningful way again yet. So coin getting the perfect bounce off 106.67, 5-minute 5 EMA.
Stopped out of my Nvidia puts, took a loss there.
And we hit 66. So that's 66. Still weakness. This bounce is not strong just yet. But that would be enough to hit that 5 EMA. Only because if we were to get any more aggressive bounce, it would come up to meet the price. Google Bull still pushing hard here. Tesla coming back down into support zone, so initial bounce out of the way is now weaker. We do have the higher high and the lower low, so we could end up with a bit of a megaphone on Tesla here. So if the megaphone situation is correct, then what we would want essentially is a resistance that's going to be, bears are going to want to maintain this now as resistance because it's the midline. So if we were to draw that out, if we're going to draw this out, what we're going to want to see is, I'm going to put that on Wix just because it's only 2 candles and they can. So the idea would be that the midline would want to hold if the bears are going to want to continue to see follow through. To the downside, otherwise, if I'm sort of neutral and waiting for a position or a setup, then I'm going to wait and see, can we get this range either to expand one more down and up, or can we get it to tighten and then wait for the tightening play. XBI new low of the day, testing support zone again. So now it would be that situation on XBI where, similar to Amazon, I would basically want it to get back inside to be more interested. So if it continues to hold, so we've lost that low, which is fine because the support zone that we were watching for was at 8529 prior resistance. Right, so we have prior support here. Don't mind that that's rejected because this is our 8529 where we had the double top. But we need to now get back inside this. So it needs to be sort of that fake out to the downside, new low, no follow through, and then back above resistances. And again, if I'm trying to trade this to look up towards 86.50, then and potentially an extra breakout, then I don't mind risking giving myself a few cents extra to see if we can get back. So I'll be interested back over, like if we get that trend change back over, because then I at least know I have momentum in my favor. Whereas the difference between trying to bottom fish this for a really low risk setup is that we can keep going lower, slightly grinding, right? Get 2 cents here, stop out, 2 cents more, stop out, 2 cents more, stop out. So I'd rather give up the risk of having momentum in my favor here, knowing that my risk reward is still really well in advance, than trying to enter on support, stop out after, stop out, and then I don't have that same setup. Amazon giving us the EQ that we were watching for here. So high, low, lower, high. So we're getting that EQ now on Amazon. And then we're going to look to see which way that breaks. Google's still very strong, seeing continuation. 124.30 was the next target zone we were watching for on Google. As NVDA dip buyers continue to be rewarded up near the highs of the day. QQQ still struggling a little bit with SPY as well, meaning that we're in an uptrend, but we're sort of still, like, it's not an aggressive one because there's still too much rotation, and there's the IWMs near the lows and giving that heavy rotation.
Yeah.
If the Google daily chart now gave like AI news, I would laugh so hard. This is just a really good back test of right of the zone we were watching for. Okay, so the Google now is, okay, do we get a daily lower high? Most likely scenario would be a lower high. But we're holding this support zone so well, so we'll see how that goes. It's fairly aggressive squeeze here on Google. 124 to 31 is this area. So now you can see we're entering this zone of resistance here on Google. So this is the zone that we're going to be watching. It's this high, or this high. It's all of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's not a perfect level, it's just a zone. That's where I'm going to be watching next. Amazon equilibrium, really liking that. Really liking the equilibrium setting up off of support with a higher low. Potential for this higher low again to hold. So I'm going to be in an Amazon position looking for this low to hold, and I'm going to I'm giving myself the full stop under the lows only because the risk reward for me is worth it. Because I'm playing for the move higher, for the squeeze higher. Now, hourly will want to get over, so I don't think that it's completely ready yet. I like this 5-minute pattern. I like it holding exponential moving averages as support. And the setup still looks really nice here on Amazon. And then it will need to break this high to see follow through. See it's sort of struggling every time as it comes into this 134.50 area, so I'm going to pay attention to that as a little resistance here. And SPY is still struggling, so the one red flag would be if QQQ and SPY continue to struggle. And right now SPY is holding the 5, but it's not necessarily moving up very well. But playing the individual chart, this still looks pretty good.
Slow.
And it's a rotational play. So remember that we're watching, I don't care if something else comes down, that actually increases the odds of Amazon as long as it's not all of QQQ coming down. Coin's still weak under all exponential moving averages, so watching to see if this, again, this support zone is from where we had price action yesterday. It's between these two levels. It's not a specific level. It's just where we saw the most amount of price action oscillating between. Amazon's still struggling with, look at these wicks every time it gets up there. So that would be what needs, the bear bulls need to sort of squeeze above, because there's obviously severe selling pressure every time they get there. Meta seeing the same thing with a higher high and then selling pressure. And Apple's still not, as sort of SPY, still not really reliably over this area from yesterday. It's above it right now, but not reliably, and Amazon is red flagging without the ability to break above as well. Google 124 rejection, slight higher and then rejection, didn't quite get the 124.30. Did Tesla give us Tesla back at the lows? So got that lower low again. Still lack of follow through. Bears are in control under all exponential moving averages on the 2-minute time frame. Okay, where are we heading now then? So that's still strong. IWM had a nice strong bounce. Google with a fairly large 124 rejection. But SPY's still not coming down. So now we're in that situation again where something else. So Apple came down nicely, but SPY's not actually coming down. So what's high? XLF still near the highs of the day. So MSFT is lower. So QQQ getting the follow through now on the pullback, but IWM still rotating and XLF still rotating. Tesla continued follow through, new lows on Tesla.
Just tried some QQQ puts.
The megaphone. For now, it's very weak, so now we would need sort of follow through above it, follow through. But so far, a good bounce off the megaphone bottom for a little bit. 2-minute time frame, the EMA needs to become support. One-minute rotation always leaves me feeling more bearish, just because when the party stops, like, we see that increasing in rotation, so it gets faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. However, without meaningful breaks of support on SPY, then it's useless. So SPY, to me, is not convincing over this area yet, but bears are also not convincing because we're still seeing one pop and then the next one. So XBI is still weak, so that's sort of negating the bull play. Again, unless we're back above this area, I'm not interested now. Amazon's still failing. Still in an EQ. So still an EQ on Amazon 1-minute time frame. Google Bull's looking for a 5-minute higher low. As is NVDA, but giving back a decent amount to look for a potential 2-minute lower high at the top fish. SPY is still not rolling over. Tesla got the megaphone bounce, but again, now we're going to look back. Okay, how do we react? Can we even make it back towards the midline, 270, 860? Ticker requests. Apple Bull's looking for a 5-minute higher low. Still looking for increasing selling action. We're still not really seeing that just yet. IWM, yes. So now we at least have QQQ and IWM pulling back together. So one maybe potential little start here for the bears. Forgot to bring water to my desk this morning, so I looked because I have like a water bottle from yesterday. But always good to look first because there's definitely a fly.
Shit.
Yesterday morning, sort of watching transactions. Are they? Almost. 266.04 would be the blue sky breakout for cat bulls. So tried to play the lower high yesterday, 2 days ago, got stopped out. Inside bar breaking bullish, so strength there. Amazon back to testing the lows, so that's going to be a quick. Oh, there's that 5 EMA test. I actually haven't touched it yet. So I may have missed that one. STNE. It's the same thing that happened with coin, but I didn't see it on Amazon because we had tested it right first thing from the beginning. Walmart is breaking out on the daily time frame after holding support several times. Looking at resistance here at 156.29 and 156.29 double top. So Apple, Amazon with the long upper wick. Google with the long upper wick as well, but trying to still put in a higher low, but now the pullback is a bit too much for Google. So that's a red flag. Amazon's a red flag.
Alright, let me get filled.
STNE. STNE, it's very similar to Google. It's the aggressive bounce off the slight lower low with no follow through is good in that it's looking for a potential higher low here. Like this is a potential weekly 2-week bull flag. Not really. Here's this support zone that's holding. So we had multiple tops here. So as long as this area holds as support, that would be a potential monthly higher low. Because monthly is like monthly holding this higher low. It's a bit of an awkward shape here, isn't it? I would say I'm just watching this sort of daily channel. We saw the lower low into the bounce. So we see several lower highs, but we're still holding in this area. So it'll be a matter of do we hold this and break back above 1264 to potentially try to look for further follow through. That would be what I would be watching for. So Tesla further follow through. So have the megaphone, but the 2-minute couldn't become support here. So we said the EMAs have to become support. It couldn't, and then now we're seeing acceleration selling off of it. So midpoint acting as a very nice resistance. 270.50 area is going to be next support on Tesla. NVDA did pull back significantly, so now we're looking at new potential lows of the day. 462.52 is going to be support here.
Just a bit too early.
XLF still strong near the highs of the day, so QQQ obviously putting in the weakness, so that got the weakness. And then with IWM weakness, that is pulling SPY considerably lower, despite the fact that XLF is still really trying to hold on here. LAC. LAC trying to put in a little bounce here, 15-minute testing 5-period exponential moving average. Didn't quite get it on this candle, got it on the last about inside bar forming, so definitely a bit of a dump.
That was sizable.
Nice equilibrium setting up on the broader time frame, but I'm watching the low, high, low, lower high, higher low, and this could still be a lower high, so we still need to wait for this to sort of tighten up. There is still room for it to potentially tighten a little bit more here. Shop short. Shop daily time frame. Pretty indecision here. 4-hour time frame probably gives a bit more clarity. Watching.
Hey, Abby.
You know, can I feature drop it off right now?
Yeah, come on over. Alright, bye.
High, and then the low, and then this lower high, and now we're sort of like very range bound. We haven't really. Now we have it with this top and losing, so 2-minute lower high. We still have room for anything over the highs of the lows of the day to be a 15-minute higher low, but definitely the weakness in the broader market setting in nicely. So that could be helpful.
If we
Anything
lose
under
low a day,
68.05
it's
would
over.
be another 2-minute lower high now on any further bounce attempt. So Amazon failing here, big red flag, new lows of the day, so not in not trade anymore. And SPY seeing acceleration, so good news for bears if they can get this continuation. This area acting as a very strong resistance, and then now seeing a good rejection off of it, so that would be a good potential sign for bears here. Google with a fairly strong rejection now. Off that 124 area, so the move basically played out, and that's kind of, now it's sort of reaching its point where it's a little bit too much of a pullback, and so it's possible that that was just a move in that bit. Looking for a 5-minute higher low, we have some support in this area. But Apple Apple still overall healthy, room for a 5-minute higher low. Just testing the 12-period exponential, so I would say Apple, as far as the bull place, has the least amount of red flags. Meta with more hitting new lows. NVDA approaching the lows of the day on NVDA here. XBI, so equilibrium, 5-minute inside bars broke bearish and then saw continuation there. So it looks like bears are getting their chance today. Meta, another lower high. I want to see what that looks like. So coin breaking the lows of the day. I do want to see Meta on the daily. What that looks like.
JD, what up, bro? We got a big winner, shorted QQQ up here. It's down at support. Trying to hold to see if the bears will push through the support and really pay us. Up about $150 right now. Don't want to give it back, but definitely want to make 300, if you know what I mean. We need QQQ to lose 381.9 and hold below. Come on, bears.
Netflix short. So Netflix had a good short first thing here. Like it came straight out of the gates though, basically. And now we're EQ. So now the issue is we have support at 431. We now have an EQ. We have very clear tops here at 440, 165. And so we're going to be watching for any further follow through on those.
All right. Bears can't get it. I'm going to look to stop.
EQ here on Netflix. Very close to support, but obviously that's still $8, so I have to keep that in my head. But definitely close to support here. Microsoft is now breaking back down towards the lows of the day as well.
Lots of things moving down. I don't know how QQQ is holding support. What's holding? Is it Apple?
I'm not so much. It's not so much.
Do something.
The problem with Netflix is just finding the right. It's like finding a decent entry, right? So if you're looking for, a longer term short, let's say like we do get an EQ here, okay? So then if we break that, you can use that, but you're trying to still use the very small range. But then let's say we've just bounced off 421. So the issue is the entry here. So ideally, we want to try to use a smaller pattern that we can see to get an entry. So rather than staying with some risk, maybe we come back down and then down, whatever, but just waiting for the pattern so that we have a better stop available to us.
There it is. Come on. Push it, Bears. Push it, Bears! Let's go, baby! Come on, man! Baby, my fucking money, baby! Let's go! Pay up, boy! Pay up, boy! Push it down, Bears!
Yeah, 70.18, approaching support at 70.18.
Yeah, yo, the Discord's going crazy, I know.
As well, higher high, no follow through. Well, higher high, but again, we're seeing a lot of these names with the higher high, and now we're seeing further market weakness.
No follow through to the downside, though.
Higher highs with no follow through and back into range. So we had this triple top here, and then we broke it. And if we don't hold that as support and we come back under it, then that is where the red flag would come into play for net. And it would be the same for all of these names, right? So if we see that move higher and then no follow through, that's sort of where we get that. So like Lulu is another one where it kind of just hit into the 396 area, 395, and then it has this triple top, and now it's back under it. So now it's a daily inside bar, but if we start to lose that, then that's a red flag because now we're back under the breakout. And so we were not supporting the breakout in any of these names. And athletes,
oh, the Bears can't get it done, man.
Google failed, Amazon failed. So the SPY bears still haven't touched the 5 EMA. So the bulls are still really in control. Okay. However, can I just tell you guys something funny? My husband saw my chart the other day. He's like, doesn't it become useless at some point? You never seen my chart of SPY. He's like, what does that even mean? Oh man. So SPY, I would anticipate now if we can continue to see this weakness. There's that 452, mid 452 area for the daily 5 EMA, which hasn't yet been touched. But again, we'll probably need extra left weakness. So IWM is trying to go for it, 194.63. So on the broader time frame of a daily chart, we still really haven't seen any weakness in SPY, but we have lost the daily stair step now.
All out my puts. Oh, not a bad play. Not a bad play. Not a bad play. I mean, it's disappointing. Gonna take home about $120, $130. It's disappointing, but you know, oh man, it's you wanted to make more. I'm gonna take home $110. You know, you wanted to make more, but the Bears just couldn't get it done.
Down for 5, anything under 155.99 would be a lower high. Five-minute time frame. Bears versus Hamilton forming. 5 minutes there. Set pattern in place. 153.7. That's all. I'll take this over why you did now. So again, keep 5 minutes over to the sales underway. Anything under 280.93 is a 5 minute period. CGT? Okay. CGT stronger up near the highs today, but still overall sideways on the daily time frame. So looking for that weekly higher low, we saw the daily lower low with no follow through, but we're still fairly sideways here with heavy resistance overhead at a triple top of 135.46. So we held our support zone from our previous and the top of the zone is good, but overall still sideways.
Disappointed, honestly.
We're at the highs today. And then back to the overhead, 5 minutes support 133.15, 132.48. So far, this range is now, so we broke into it, tested the bottom side of it, and now we're back in this range.
The Bears can, but D can. Get you some money, you're gonna feel different. Whoa, pause. My boy JD funny as hell. JD, man, we about done for the day. Probably not gonna take any more trades. The only other trade that might be is Tesla shorts. But I mean, we didn't catch the last move, so. He said, whoa, Paul. Yo, my boy JD funny as hell. Oh, now it's going down. Oh, great.
Seeing some consolidation.
go in names like CDNA. Like higher high, no follow through with yesterday. Now seeing more consolidation. Lack of support here until 47.10. 49.40. 47. Apple hourly time frame still not a problem. EQ high, low, lower high. So not actually an issue just yet for Apple. Further consolidation in NVDA supports going to be down at 457.35. Idle gap weakness continuing, so that wedge breaking there. And now we're going to be watching on the daily time frame where we're testing 5 EMA still down a little bit lower, maybe 30 cents lower. Anything over 190.29 would be a daily higher low. Hello? Leo? So, Julio, 5-minute just growth, we're testing the 5-period exponential. Just cautious with the broader market weakness. If I were to see follow through, then Julio is not positioned very well.
Alright, JD, man, thank you for being here. Probably gonna call it a day.
Same thing. So,
Probably gonna call it a day.
this is on a lot of names. So, if SPY is